So I finally figured out the pattern and the bigger picture, I guess. Of like the role that Divine Masculine plays. It is more, I can't say, I can't really say if it's karmic or not, because I think you have to figure that out for yourself, I guess. But it's very similar to like, it's like a Jekyll and Hyde kind of thing, where I don't know. I mean, most empaths, let me just add this in. Most empaths struggle with addiction. Like, that's typically part of the journey to like getting out of it, is that you get stuck in addiction and then you decide that you like can't keep living like that. But it's something where it's like he gets like this courage to like show up, or like, there's something about the dynamic with the twin flames where you are pulling each other, you're pulling together, like you're having to come together, like you're magnetizing each other, and it's sort of this, and then you come together and then you talk and then you run away. It's like this runner chaser thing, but you're learning as you go. So sometimes it doesn't feel super destructive. It just there's a lot of just like pain and like a lot of just sadness, because and just confusion, so much confusion. But it's something where like the masculine feels a sense of courage, or like an urge, maybe like that he's supposed to like reach out to you or whatever. And then there's the other aspect, is that there's something about like he knows that if he's not healed and he's with a karmic, that's a big one. And then also like has addictions or whatever, it has, hasn't been dealing with his demons, whatever it is. It's like, so then he pushes you away. So then he like he does all this triggering, all this like hurtful stuff, all these projections, because that pushes you away so that you don't want to get close to him. So it is very toxic, really. Like, I don't know how it's been for other people. Again, I know, and I know in my heart that it's like there's this bigger spiritual journey, that there's a bit higher aspect, but I know potentially there's still more healing that I have to do. So it's like I can't fully like embrace that part of it yet. But I don't hate my person, and we never like hung out or like went on a date or anything like that. So it's not like there's something about the limerence and the like, but it's more than that, because you feel so connected to this person that makes it so like painful to move through, along with like you're going through like the hardest time of your whole fucking life and you're isolated. Like, for example, even if you aren't isolated, but you're having to like face these things and move through the pain and face shadows and all of that, like, and real, like, just, it's overwhelming. It's so much more inside. It's so much more that's energetic. It's so much more just not knowing when you're going to have exhaustion or pain, and it's not like, well, it's weird because you move through it and then, you forget. So it's like, it's hard for me to remember all the times that there was like pain, but like even depression to me is a pain, is kind of like I'm not in alignment. I'm not in flow when I'm in that state. But the other part is that makes it like you have to be keeping, you're learning how more and more how to detach, because finding out that like my masculine has a person all this time, everybody has a whole life, okay? That's not fair to say. Like everybody has a whole life that they're doing outside of freaking YouTube and like social media. But like he has a whole like beautiful life that he has created already. So he's kind of like created his kingdom in a sense already, whereas like my life is a fucking shit show. It is and it isn't. Okay, it is and it isn't. But like for sure, like our house, like, our house being in shambles, and like my, all of my having nobody, all of my family relationships being just like painful, and like it's hard to find the words. I think that's been the hardest part for me, is just feeling like I really wished I really mentally have struggled. And mentally, I mean, all of the above. I feel like spiritually has been the one that like it's leading me to a spiritual strength. So like that one maybe I'm not, but like mentally and emotionally it's been insane. And not having a friend. But I also will say that like even there were a lot of beautiful conversations and moments of connection, and that I have to be grateful for that, period. And it's not, none of us get to like drag people along with us, or like make them take the journey with you, or any of that. It just sort of is like an added. And for me, I like not having that, for me, is like the thing that keeps driving me to just focus on whatever I need to do to be happy and keep myself stay focused. Is that honesty is like everything to me. So like when people, it's like whatever, like I'll get over you slandering me, talking shit behind my back, like. Everybody does that to some degree. Like when you get around groups of people, it's hard sometimes not to gossip. Like there's a little bit of that. To me, bashing somebody is a separate thing, because that's if you want, the more conscious you are about it, the more it's like a stab in the back. Because, however, I also like when you keep detaching from it, you realize it's like this is still just another person on their own journey. But it is so strange because you feel this insane magnetism to each other and stuff, and you just like, you can't ignore it. So it's like that part about it makes it like, it makes me want to like put more weight to the relationship than there actually was. So if my person is a pathological liar, or just struggles with that, struggles to be like, speaks truth, like has all these demons, has addictions, has a whole other woman in his life, like, yeah, of course, like I don't want to be with you. Like I wouldn't. Even being a friend is a sketchy thing, and that, because especially if there's like already like a sexual or romantic or any of that connection, like you can't do that with people. Like, so I personally, like, that goes against my value system, like of being integral and stuff. So like, that's not something I would be open to. So for me, finding that stuff out, like, of course I understand it in the bigger picture that like, man, I hate doing this when there's people out in their home. I understand it that it's like everybody has their own, has a life outside of this. But I wanted to give this from my perspective of like how it's been for me, and because the bigger part is that realizing that, like, I think one of the harder things for me is like, I know I was consciously choosing to go hang out with my mom and all of that, and that it's not, it just made me see how easily I was swayed, and how much time, that time aspect. And then every time that happens, when you wake up to like how much time has gone by, it kind of is like a shock. And it even kind of like, it hurts, because you're like, damn, like I've lost, it's not like a lost time, but it's like, And I'm like, I get, you just, it's trippy. It's just hard to describe. It's trippy because I'm also like, what I really value is those conversations and connections with people. Most women do, because we get oxytocin that way. Like, a lot of us really do just want to have like conversations, other people, like, we always kind of have that like tribal aspect, I feel like I said, especially as women. I know I'm rambling now. It really bothers me because I just feel like people are listening in and I can't go. My kid's trying, and he needs to be going to sleep. What the fuck are they doing? Okay, whatever. People have to people. So, and I knew from the beginning that like God is in charge when it comes to this, and that kind of helps because you kind of feel like, where is free will in all of this? Like, didn't I deserve to like know the truth? Like, I don't. It's so weird. But then then I remember that it's like from the masculine's perspective, he's also like I don't know what all he's used to dealing with. Like, he might be. It might be that he's mostly deals with like Jezebels, because like I always would say, there will always be these like things that would pop up and be like, I'm just looking for a good woman, and like that, and like he would say a lot of the same things, and I'm like, that's strange. Like, I've never heard a guy say that before. And then I'm like, it must be because he's used to dealing with people fucking him over. And so it goes both ways as far as like the masculine and the feminine, of like, getting duped a lot and people wasting your time and dealing with like your people not treating your energy as sacred and all of that. So it doesn't justify though like all this crazy shit, that divine masculine, all the projections and stuff, but there is a higher purpose to it, because it keeps triggering the feminine to heal these parts that are not healed, and also to keep being very, very firm with boundaries, because you're out here in isolation. It's a spiritual thing. So it's like nobody else. It's only only God, your masculine, and like other people's projections, or how you're learning this kind of stuff. And it does suck, honestly. It is fucked up, but it's like, it's a spiritual like battle. So it's like, I mean, other people deal with like whatever other bullshit in their jobs, I guess, or in their daily life. So, it also drives the feminine to like like I said, do whatever you have to do whatever it is going to take to make you happy. And like how I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen tomorrow, but I have this understanding because I've already had to do this, or I've done it a couple of times with my mom. I don't know if there will be more conversations. I have to do that as well with her. And then it's like I'm reparenting myself and my parents at the same time. It's strange because it's like you're having to kind of be the bigger person and also be a bull, kind of like you're kind of having to be an asshole. And it's not, I don't hate confrontation, and I don't hate, but I don't like having to do it with my kid for sure. And I don't want to be hurt. I don't want to bruising an ego or whatever, but like, I'm still trying to figure out, like, I don't even have the words. Like, it's like, because it's like, it just kind of came to me because it's not like there's a guidebook for this. So that part about it is also hard because, it makes sense that I'm supposed to be the one to kind of close out these cycles and like do whatever I have to do to like move on to the next chapter of life. But at the same time, like, it would have been nice to have a little bit more guidance. I guess that everything happens at the time that you're like ready for it or whatever. And also, I'm just going to finish it up here. This has been drawn out, but like, I don't really know what's going on with you don't really know what's going on with your masculine. And because if you are twin flames, there is some sort of like what would you call it? Like they're having to move through similar like a similar like energetic, emotional situation. Like I do think it's different for the masculine versus feminine, but they are having to like go through their own journey. So I think the more that you can like, you're able to see it as like, this is something that God is giving to both, gifting to both of you, to be able to put you on the path that you're, you know, that is most aligned, or that is aligned, helps you to let go of like a lot of the pain and the just taking it personal, I think. I think there's just such a strong drive for sovereignty, and also like in a fucked up kind of way, like having to go through shit, like I've already murdered, I've already assassinated, like it was funny to me like the first year we had the bug icon. Last summer we didn't have him, but like I had to assassinate like 4 roaches. One of them, it flew at me when I was trying to help my kid in the bathroom because they hide in the toilet paper roll. This is like, it's just like, that's what I'm having to live in right now. Like I think I'm gonna have to heal. I mean, whatever, like lots of people have like, I can't imagine being someone like a hoarder that lives with like all the stuff in their house, and like how they, anyway, that to me is crazy. But like, so I know that there are worse things, but like, it is just sick. It's like, I don't want to have to sleep in an environment like that. Like, I would have never imagined, like, I like camping out. I rode horses. Like, we hung out at the barn all the time, like, did overnight stuff. But, like, this is, like, a different level of, like, disturbing that I'm having to live through. I'd be doing a job that I'm making pennies. And having to do it with my kid and how stressful it's been. So I know that God is the only reason that I've been able to keep going. And anybody who's been supportive, I don't know how to thank you right now. Like, you are angels in the outfield. You are 100% angels in the outfield, because I know, because I see things happening around us that remind me that's the stuff that's helped me to keep going and not give up. Okay, thank you for listening.